Hello, I'm going to go over one of the more important steps in level design. This would not be the very first step you do, it's probably the second or third. The first being starting to block out your level, run around in it, test the scale, play through the level in your mind. You don't initially have to lay out your level from beginning to end. I find that to be detrimental to an overall level layout. If you try and lay out the whole thing from beginning to end quickly, you usually hurry. You put in a lot of blank hallways, a lot of empty space that you haven't thought through the gameplay, and then you think about, oh, I'll fill in that space later. So, first step, which I will have a tutorial for, which will be called Level Building 1, you will want to start building your level to scale. Step 2 would be as you start putting these rooms together, hallways, mountains, whatever your level is, you want to start putting in a popcorn trail. And your popcorn trail is your gameplay represented by very simple means until you get the real gameplay in there. Now those simple means are, as we can see here, intercom audio. This would be a representation of one. I'm going to walk up to this intercom and I'm going to get audio for the fact that my door is open or locked. Now I've already animated this door, which is in my Matinee Basics video. You can look that up. And from there, we want to walk up, we want to hear something, we want to see the text. If we have time, we can animate doors opening. If there's no time to animate the doors, you want to keep moving forward, you can just add steps like another text render, copy paste, in front of this door. If this door was not animated yet and you did not want to figure it out at this very moment or put it in, you would put in a text that says door opens. And along with that, you would have an audio cue that would sound like a door opening. And when you go to this intercom, you would have some sort of a audio that could be a bleep, a bloop, or a robotic voice saying door locked, door unlocked, something of that sort. So as you work your way through your level and you encounter these little popcorn pieces, door locked, door opens, you hear it, you don't necessarily see it. You walk over here, camera clue number 1. This is a camera I animated in the Matinee Basics video. You can go look at it. Camera clue number 1, you could put text here. And as you go about doing this, you can have your text render object, which I keep selecting the wrong one, you can have it disappear as you go through it. So you know you're progressing, and you can number the sequence. You can put 1, intercom audio, 2, door opens, 3, camera clue number 1. So if you do it in sequence, the player, even though the gameplay is not there, the doors are open, there's no door actually animating, the player can walk through it in sequence and start in their mind to see the gameplay, feel the gameplay, imagine the gameplay. So this is really critical. And you're thinking, why do I want to waste all this time doing this? Because it takes a really long time to get your level working with all the different components, gameplay, function, animations. And as you work, the rest of your team is going to want to play your level. You're going to have meetings. And if you have all these blank spaces and you have to explain to them every time that, oh, there's a door here and it's going to animate. Oh, this door needs to be opened by a key and there's audio here. If you have to explain that to them every time, just like every human being in the world, they forget things. They don't remember that, oh, is this door locked? And then the next meeting they're going to ask you, is this door locked? What's supposed to be here? So you keep repeating yourself 13, 14 times. And there's people that won't be in the meetings and won't hear your explanation, and they're going to go load up your level and play it. And it'd be awesome if you have a sequence of popcorn pieces for them to follow. And they can follow it 1 through 20, 1 through 100, whatever. And they can really start to understand what your level's about. You can even put just text and simple audio in there to represent a boss or an enemy fight. You walk into a go to the text that says number 22. It says enemy emerges. You could have some crazy audio that just says roar. and right away they look at your pre-production package, they play this in the level, and they're like, oh yeah, there's supposed to be 3 monsters that come out here. They hear the roar, they're experiencing it in the simplest form, and it really does help you immensely. The other part of it is your level's going to break throughout development. There's going to be things like, oops, animation data is all corrupt, need to re-export it. So now people are going to be playing your level, there'll be a big meeting coming up, like, hey, all your animations are broken, and you'll have nothing, you'll have no idea why. Then you'll figure out that someone changed an export setting or something, and you need to quickly fix it before your publisher shows up. So you run back through, and these little like text render objects that you put in the world, you took them out or you hid them. Now you put them back so that people know that, oh, this is where the enemy emerges because your animation is corrupt, corrupt and needs to be exported, and there's no time to do it before the publisher arrives. So you always have a fallback because your gameplay will break a lot. So let's get started instead of me babbling. So here's my level. I'm going to create a quick popcorn trail. And right now we have camera clue number 1, which is already animated. Like I said, go to Matinee Basics video if you want to know how to animate a camera. And my door opens here. So what I'm going to do is, this should probably be step number 1. I'm going to take my text render object, copy, paste. And if you guys are wondering why my text looks so pasty white and is not affected by the lighting, go to my Material Basics video and check that out. Material Basics. I'll show you how to duplicate the text render material and make it emissive, which makes it glow, and then that way the lighting there we go. The lighting doesn't affect it, and people can always see your text. So I'm going to start putting these in order. Let's rename this whole thing down here in the text box. We're going to say this is number 1. Camera clue. So these could obviously be renamed over and over. They could match your walkthrough, which you put in your pre-production package. And people will be referring to your walkthrough and your pre-production package a lot. They'll be looking at your map, they'll be looking at your asset list, and then they'll be playing your level in whatever shape it is, broken, unbroken. So you always want to try and keep it as cohesive as possible, no matter what phase of development you're in. So camera clue number 1. Alright, I already have an animated camera here, but what if I did not have an animated camera? Let us go over here to my blueprints, and let us trigger overlap, door anim, camera. So here's another little tip. Whoa, what's this? Error. Why do I have an error? Delete that for now. When I come to the door, I'm not going to play this animation, so I'm going to break this link, move this away, and I'm simply going to play a sound at a location. Play sound at location. So to get my audio into my game, or my project, sorry, in my tutorial folder, which is why I'm trying to store most of my assets, I'm going to create a new folder, audio, assets, and I'm simply going to drag and drop over a 16-bit WAV file. So in here I have all my WAV files. So things I want to have in this level are just simple little clues as to what's going on. So whoosh, I'll use my whoosh, drag and drop it in here. Imports it in. Ooh, access granted. Let's do that. Whoops. Access denied. We'll do that one as well. Come on. Sometimes you have to hold it over there for a minute for it to want to import properly. So don't just drag and drop. Wait till it shows the plus. Imports it in. Pickup key, that's another one. There we go. And let's see, is there another one I can use for a door open? I don't know if I have a cool door open sound in here. That's fine. We'll just use those for now. So again, they have to be WAV files, 16-bit. Easy peasy, drag and drop them in. They're named really crappy right now, so I should fix those naming conventions later. But to shorten this up. So when I walk into my trigger volume, I want to play a sound at location, and I'm going to select, looks like my pickup key sound, and here where it says sound, select asset, hit the arrow, puts it in there, and right now it's going to play it at the location that's 000, which I don't want. I want it to play it, how about at this location, right where my text render object is. So I select that, go back here, right click, click context sensitive. I want to create a reference. So at this location I want to play this, but it's not going to connect directly. What I need to do is get this actor location. So drag this off. Get actor location. Oops, see how this doesn't find get actor location? Another bugaboo in Unreal. Oops, that didn't fix it either. Uncheck context sensitive, and ta-da! Get actor location. How easy is that? So the context sensitive box can really mess up some things, but it also is very convenient when working properly. Compile. Play. Ta-da! Ta-da! Alright, so the camera clue is staying up, that text. So if we want it to disappear when we walk in, I could hide it upon overlapping, which would then make me progress to number 2, which would make a much cleaner walkthrough. If the earliest stages you don't want to hide, you can just leave it up in case the player is going to get lost or you just want to test everything. So I could show on our next phase, my next tutorial, I'll show how to do a set hidden for those. But for now, I'm just going to do 1. That's my first step. My next step is go to the intercom. And I'm going to rename this. It's no longer intercom audio. It's going to be door. I guess I'll just say door button. It's a little clearer, but actually I got to name it number 2. So 2 door button. And when I go over to that, I want to hear another audio. Copy paste. Scale it more appropriately, get us closer. So I probably want to start putting in a little more detail here. And I will have a tutorial named Beautiful Block Mesh, which I will talk about making sure you have enough details in your level so it's interesting to walk through without being an artist. You don't have to make great art, but you do have to take the time to make beautiful block mesh, or at least interesting block mesh. So let's create a button here. We'll grab a cylinder brush, drag and drop. Uh-oh, no texture. Checkerboard's bad, very bad. Delete. Go to my, I'm still using a lot of starter materials, so I'm just going to make it let's make it a wall texture. Selected, drag and drop. Nicely textured. Let's make it a little rounder, 16. Let's turn on my snaps, rotate, put it closer to the text. Obviously I have to scale it. Okay, the only way I know if this is a good size for my button is what? The only way I'm going to know it is when I get into the world and look and play it. You cannot build this whole thing without playing it. Whoa! You cannot figure out the scale and how it's going to play. What is going on? Unbelievable. So how do I get around this? Well, we don't be so dumb. And we go up here. And just hit my scale. And the transforms. Move it down a little bit. Play. Whoa! It's at my shins. Kick that door button. Pooh! Pooh! Alright, scale it up. That is a perfect example of you have to play the level constantly. Don't build for 7 hours, 8 hours, and then realize, oh my gosh, my level is completely out of whack. My player looks like a giant. Even that button. Too low. Raise it up. Alright, that's about button height. I don't like how the text is just in a weird spot. Let's put it next to it. Make my trigger volume bigger so I run into that area. I don't have to be perfect. Do not make your trigger volumes right perfectly with the button. You want the player to get close to it, but you got to be a little forgiving. Alright, let's play again. Looks pretty good. The fact that it's gray, I guess it's alright because I have the door button on there. I really should make it a slightly different color. But I'm going to leave it for now. Alright, so let's attach a sound to this one. Go back to my blueprint level. Let's close that so you know where to find it. Blueprint. Open level blueprint. So I want to do a very similar setup to this. Select my trigger, right click, add event on collision, overlap. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to play a sound and get actor location, copy paste. And I need to reference my text render object or my brush, but I'm just going to reference my text render object. Right click, create a reference. It's going to play that sound at this location. And now I need to, we'll add a different audio. Let's add the audio, something to do with the door. Audio assets, access denied. We'll do an access denied since later on we'll lock that door. So put that there, click that there, compile. Let's play. Camera clue. Alright, since I don't have a camera, I know I gotta go find number 2. Where's number 2? Number 2, and these are kind of small. I should make these bigger so I can see them across the level a little bit more. Over here.
Access denied. Please try again.
There we go. My door is locked. 3, door opens. So I have an animation there. So I'm going to make this one. This is probably number 4. So I need to change my text. Four. You're asking why is it number 4? Because I need to find a key to utilize over here with the door button or a switch to hit somewhere else. So this will probably be the 4th step. So let's add the 3rd step. Copy paste my text render object. And let's go find, oh, the classic power switch. We must turn on the power to the door. which of course is in the corner. Actually, let's not do it in the corner. Let's put it here on the pole. Rotate. And, you know, I said these were kind of small, so I'm going to scale them up a little bit. Instead of playing with this, like I did before, 1.5. 1.5. And I should just lock this, actually. There we go. That's probably going to be better. Let's make a little control panel. I'm going to grab a box. I'm going to add a new material here because I need some of these interactive objects to stand out. So let me go to something that doesn't need UVs. Remember, no UVs, no bricks, no patterns. I don't see anything really bright. Would gold work? Green work? All right, so I'm going to do gold. Let's do gold. Drag my box. Shape it accordingly. Some kind of control panel. And again, we'll go over a little more detail on, this is the basic walkthrough. So we will talk about getting the popcorn trail in first. And then we'll discuss in maybe the level design 2 tutorial. Or the beautiful block mesh tutorial. That's a better one. What kind of details we should be adding to this. For now, let's just make it stand out. So I made my text bigger, and it's not door opens. It's number 3, power switch. The good old power switch. And let's put it on the side a little bit. You can see it. Let's hit play, see what it looks like. Kind of stands out. My gray, and it's right at my head, which is not too. You could be reaching up to do something there. Could be like a control panel with multiple switches. The placement's okay. I don't like the power switch sticking out like that. The text, at least. I'm gonna stick it over here. Line it up a little bit more with the box. And I'm also gonna go over here and make these bigger. Same with this one. So the pattern I'm getting in here is I'm playing, I'm testing, I'm looking at everything. Everything's important. Where I place the text, how big it is, can I see it, what's the color. This button here is a brush. I'm going to select one. What am I in here? Oh, why is everything jumping around? You're really acting weird, Mr. Brush. Whoa, right click is making my brush move. Why is it doing that? There we go. So I select one face and I go over here and I want to select and I cannot find it. Select, there we go. Select not all brushes, select all surfaces, select all with same material. So it's select, did it select everything? There we go. So there's my basic wall. I select gold here. Has my surface material. Click on this. Ah! I only selected one. Well, that really worked well, didn't it? Select all with same material. How about all surfaces? No. Struggling here. It's probably good I struggled through this with you. Well, my goodness, there is something not right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the top face, drag and drop it on. So now I can at least see the front, and I'm going to figure out later why that's not just applying it nicely to all surfaces, which is very odd. This is just a brush. Shouldn't be that difficult. I'm not sure why it's named box brush either. Alright, did I resize this one? This one needs to be 1.5 bigger. Alright, now that I struggled through just trying to replace one material, let's do a quick run through. A little bit easier to see. Camera clue, okay, no camera yet. Where's number 2? No, number 3. Number 2, door button.
Access denied.
Oh.
Please try again.
So even though I've got an animation here, which please go to Matinee Basics tutorial to learn how to do, I know that that's not the next step. I need to go over here. Power switch. Okay. Then I go back to my door. And it's probably going to say...
Access denied. Please try again.
Probably going to say access granted, and then the door is going to open. I think my logic can figure that out for now. So this is the earliest steps. We don't have to replace everything yet, but at least let yourself and the player and your team walk through this. So let's add another... Get a trigger. So when I come over here and get near the box, instead of it just being blank, did you notice there was no audio and it sounded really weak? Or actually it sounded like you did nothing. You had to read the text and you're like, okay. So just by adding another layer of audio on each of these little numbered steps, it really helps a lot. So what did I put my audio here? How about whoosh? We'll put a whoosh sound in here. So I have my trigger selected. I go back to my blueprint for my level. And I need to add an event on collision. Going to do the same thing. Play sound and get actor location. So the actor location is my text render object, number 3. Click on it, right click, add reference or create reference. Connect this, and now I want to change this to be the whoosh. So go to whoosh, select it, click the arrow, whoosh. Play. Number 1. Where's number 2? Number 2.
Access denied. Please try again.
It's not number 2. What's this? I can see the box across the level. Oh, that's not a bad sound. Whoosh. Sounds like I powered something up. Number 4, door opens. So the fact the door is opening is good feedback. I see the door, but man, missing audio still hurts it. I'm gonna add another whoosh to that one. So let's add, when I touch this trigger. So another thing to do is, here's my trigger. If I click on it and jump to event, there's an event associated with this trigger. So if I don't see this option, there's no jump to event or something like that, I know that it's not been set up in Blueprint. So I can jump to this event by clicking on the actor begin overlap, and it sends me right to that node. And right now it's playing an animation, and what I'm also going to do is play, actually let's copy the whoosh. Where's the whoosh? Whoosh, get actor location, copy paste, drag it up here. and I want it to play at an actor location near there. What should I play it with? Number 4, door opens. Grab number 4, right click, create a reference. Click this. All right, we got to start organizing my level blueprint now. So I left this over here. This is my camera animation. I'm going to leave that for now so I don't have to redo it. So what I'm going to do is hit C, comment. This is door open. If I just click on the comment itself, it'll drag all the nodes with it, which is excellent. C, this is camera clue IGC. So these simple little comments are great for now. As you get more complicated, your level gets really, your blueprints start getting filled up with tons of nodes and things. What's this one? This is the door button. Door button. C. This one is the power box. Power box. All right, now my blueprint's nicely commented and I can see what's going on. So let's test this out. Compile.
Access denied. Please try again.
Go to my power button. Could use a louder power switch, but it's still going to work. See how much cooler that is just with a simple sound? Feels like it did something. Oh, and this is, every time I go through my trigger, it's playing it every time. I can show you how to clean that up too. We can just do a play once. Let's do that real quick, and then we're done. So I don't want my audio to constantly play because, just because I'm doing this simple walkthrough. Obviously, when your door opens, you want it to play every time. So maybe I'll leave that one up, but maybe on this one, once I hit the switch once, I don't want it to play again. So right click, jump to event, on begin and overlap. So from the play location, I just want to play once. So I can go play to N. Do once, that's it, not play. It's do once or do N. So I'm going to do N, and you can put the amount of times you want it to happen. So the integer is 1. I only want it to happen once. Compile. So they have do once, and I could have had a note here that says do once, and I didn't have to put in the number 1. But I prefer to keep the number in there, and then I can test it a little bit easier. I can go back and forth and hear it if I'm testing out the sound, and I'll have to replay it every time. So go back up here, play.
Access denied. Please try again.
So this one we want to.
Access denied. Please try again.
So this one's repeating.
Access denied. Please try again.
And as we script it a little more, get more detailed later, that would be once we get the functionality that I've hit the power switch. So obviously when I touch it once, the power switch is on. When I touch it again, no sound. No sound. Because I've turned on the power. It's not going to do it again. So this one, once I've touched 3, later on we'll script it so I've hit the power.
Access denied. Please try again.
The audio will change to access granted, and the door will open. And only when the door opens will we hear that sound. So later on we'll get a little more detail, but that's the start of your popcorn trail. And we want to do this through your entire level as you're building it. Once you get your first room set up, your doorways, you add a little detail, you start figuring out, okay, this is a good space to start my gameplay. This is what you want to start adding. The 1 through 1 million whatever clues and popcorn setup. That's it for now. We will return with more level design goodness later. Bye-bye.